Hey, it's Tim, Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk, and I'm sitting here reading all your comments. I'm reading comments on the channel. This live stream is supposed to go live at 7 p.m. It's 6:30 p.m. my time, Mountain Time, and I just said, you know what? The hell with it. Let's just go live now. I'll talk to nobody for a little bit, and so let's just get some viewers going. Conversation starting, and if you're listening to the podcast, welcome to the podcast. Listen to live stream, welcome to live stream. I will cut this out a little bit best I can to when we get maximum amount of viewers. But I have a couple announcements to make, and I wanted to wait until we get more than 0 on the live stream. So let me see. Still 0. This is the problem going live. Oh, wait for people to show up. Oh, we got 11 viewers. All of a sudden went 0 to 11. Hi guys, hi all 11 of you. As you guys know, we have the 2022 Toyota Tundra. Again, Tim Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk, live stream, podcast, all sorts of stuff going on. We have the 2022 Tundra. I just thought I've done a week of videos. I don't know, 8, 9, 10 videos where we're at now. And I thought I would just do an update. Just kind of do some updates, answer the questions. I'll probably repeat this a few times, but there's some exciting stuff happening behind the scenes. And behind the scenes happening is that tomorrow, on Friday, I'm going to the dealer. And when the dealer is going to put it up on the lift, and we're going to do a walk around on the inside. I'm going to talk about oil, talk about where the oil filter is. I'm going to talk about rust underneath the truck. Do I have any? Do I not have any? I don't know. I'm going to go check it out. And so I thought, let's do that tomorrow. Also tomorrow, it's kind of in the works yet. We're not quite there yet on timing, but the chief engineer for the multimedia system wants to have a conversation. I think he's been watching my videos. So I'm going to meet with the chief engineer and talk through some of my concerns, and maybe I can address some of these concerns so that future people who get the Tundra will, have a better experience than I did in the first 7 days. It's been exactly 7 days since I picked up the truck. 7, which is outstanding. PC behind him be like, I can't boot, bro. Okay. Lots of interesting comments. So I have those two things going on. I really am hoping that the multimedia chief engineer can point me in the right direction. I have a GMC Canyon outside right now, doing a review on it, and I honestly grabbed it and went for a drive. I went for a walk this afternoon. I try to get some exercise every day, and I went for a walk, and I just grabbed that truck instead because I didn't have to press the damn button to close out the guest profile. How sad is that? That's where I'm at with this damn thing. It may just be me. This is the whole argument I have with myself all the time. Am I just being that kind of guy? Am I just being overly picky? Or is this a real issue? And so I struggle with that all the time. And I'm kind of curious what you guys' thoughts are. The JBL is great. There's a question, how is the JBL in the truck? I think it's great. But I'm not an audiophile. And I tried and maybe failed to do an audio video today on the JBL because it's really hard to do video. It's really hard to do video on an audio system. Wow, I think I said that right. Because there's lots of compression issues going on with the sound, and there's lots of compressions with the codec, and I've studied some of the audio stuff. I'm not an audio guy, but I have studied some of that stuff, and it is nearly impossible to do video on the audio stuff, which is unfortunate because I really wanted to show you guys that I thought the GBL system was fantastic. The first time I had one, I had a guy stop by, and he, the first day I had it stop by, I had a 2021, or 2020, I think, whatever one it was. And we went for a drive, and boy, he just was blown away by that because it is fantastic. The JBL system is so much better. All right, wow, we're starting to go. Here we go. We're starting to get some comments. I'm going to take off my sweatshirt because I put on my overhead lights because I had to use this computer instead of the other computer, and I'm going to get really hot. You can maybe see, yeah, that's my Windows PC, and I built this PC a decade ago. And if you're listening to the podcast, my Windows PC has just been throwing a fit all day long. It's like it's a Monday or something, and I'm literally at the point where I'm just gonna hire somebody in IT because I'm sick of messing this damn thing. Okay. And we'll get it going. Well, I will answer all the questions the boss can answer. I've been trying to answer as many questions on the channel as I can. You guys have absolutely blown the hell out of the channel this week. You have destroyed the channel as far as comments, and I spend hours every day reading comments, and sometimes I have to take a break because some of the comments are... All right. Looking forward to walk around with the dealer. Yeah, so my plan is to video the underside of the truck, the undercarriage. I do have a photo from Spears about where the oil filter is. I want to look for that. And I plan on doing a whole walk around, that kind of stuff, because I think it's going to be interesting. 1,000 miles on it. I wish they'd bring the V8 back. Question about asking Spears to bring the V8 back. I think they should. Toyota sees it as an issue with greenhouse gas emissions and pollution, and they feel like the 3.5 liter will outperform the V8 towing, and it's going to outperform the V8 as far as fuel economy, and it's got better performance. So those are your answers. But it's interesting with Toyota in that they see the environmental impact of their vehicles differently, and they see the way that CAFE is written a little bit different than other brands do. When I talk to other brands about CAFE and requirements like that, I get different answers. So it's just Toyota globally has this really big mindset of environmental impact, which is great. We all want clean skies. I get it. Clean water. I'm a big fan of that. But I do find it rather... It's interesting how much difference there is. And this is something that goes back to like the 2017 Tacoma, I think, what came out. That front bumper is extruded out of that vehicle. And that was because Toyota thought there was going to be an impending law about frontal crash awareness and collisions. And that was going to be the way the bumper's supposed to be designed. Because remember something, Toyota does update their trucks once every 14 years to get the out there. 15 years, I should say. Well, I didn't mean to. I was being kind of, I don't know. Anyways, so so they try to plan out future laws and future emissions. So they're not thinking about this year. They're thinking about 7, 8, 10 years down the road. That's what they kind of do. Hi from the frozen Fargo, North Dakota. I've been to North Dakota. Have I been to Fargo? Where was I at? I went to South Dakota. I went to Sioux Falls. We drove north, and I stopped in North Dakota, put my foot out on the ground, turned around, and drove back. Well, it was the Facebook thing, right? I put on the state that I was at every state. If you guys are wondering, Jill is just finished up. Jill is managing editor. She's on these live streams with me. She just finished up in Vegas. She was doing an off-rodeo with the Bronco, the Maverick, something else. The Maverick was doing the off-rodeo, or the Maverick. The Bronco was doing the off-rodeo. I'm not sure the Maverick was doing. It apparently was snowing, so she's got some really good video coming. Okay. I've been asked this question a dozen times. I'm going to talk about this thing. And I'm gonna hop over this next. So the question. So Bryby says, should have bought a Nissan Titan instead. I'm getting this question a lot, and it kind of a little surprising to me because I think it's just new viewers. If you can recall, every year I'm going to buy a new vehicle. And so I bought the Ford last year. I'll buy a Tundra this year. Next year I'll buy whatever. I'm the next newest, latest thing. I mean, it just works out really well for the channel. Works out really good. It makes you guys know that I'm not biased because I'm buying different brands. And business-wise, it makes a lot of sense. So I will eventually, at some point, end up with Nissan Titan. At some point. I'm just going through the process of what's new. Benny Vova, what's your opinion on the F-150 Tremor EcoBoost versus the Tundra after driving both for daily use? And I've gotten this email, like, is it, maybe you. Benny, maybe you. Was it Instagram or email? My God, I'm trying to keep up. The comments in different platforms are driving me crazy. It's just incredible. I would say this. I think I like the F-150 exterior styling better than like the Tundra. The mustache, to me, still causes me concerns. I like the technology of the sync system in the Tundra, in the Ford right now better than Tundra, which is really hard for me to say because Ford has had terrible sync systems and Toyota's had terrible sync systems. So it's kind of a 1A, 1B situation. And I think if Toyota can fix my concerns with the infotainment system, I think I'd probably go them over Ford, but Ford was just easier for me to use. I think that the Tundra rides smoother than the Tremor. If that's a concern for you, I think it rides smoother. I like the way Toyota did their 3.5 liter versus Ford's. So I think Toyota's is faster. I think it's more responsive to throttle inputs. And with that JBL system, I think it sounds better. I think one of my concerns and one of the things I said with my, like, especially my Power Boost, my hybrid, you guys keep nailing me on this, my hybrid Power Boost was how numb of a driving experience it was, which is where we're heading with electric vehicles. But that's okay. That's where the road's taking us. And so I just found the Tremor to be a little bit numb on the daily driving usage. I thought the Tundra is better for that. And then interior is going to be interior as far as what you like, don't like. But I just think, I'll be honest, the Tremor gets me excited when I see it. I think it's an exciting looking truck. I think it's cool. I think the orange accents are cool. I think it just looks really cool. It just gets me fired up. I don't have the same response to the Tundra. I don't. It just turns me off, which is sad because I love full-size trucks, but I just have such a hard time with the front end. And I'm hoping that there's some future modifications happening. Somebody earlier wanted me to follow up with Swears and team and talk about tow hooks and recovery hooks, and I don't have any answers on recovery hooks. I don't have any answers right now today. I'm hoping that I go to the event end of January with Toyota. I'm hoping to have some answers then. But I want to speak to this just for a second. I will tell you that I have the off-road version of the Tundra, the TRD off-road version. And I was thinking about this today I wanted to go out to the farm and shoot some video. We have a little bit of snow left over. I thought it'd be kind of cool. I thought, okay, I'd shoot that. Then I thought, what happens if I go off-road and get stuck? The thing with off-roading is it's not a question of if you'll get stuck. It's a when you'll get stuck, right? That's always the thing. It's if or when. And so I'm thinking, I was kind of actually thinking to myself, I'm a little cautious. Going off-road with the Tundra because I don't want to crawl underneath the front end and try to hook a tow strap around something under the front end. You got to find something, right? And hook it to and pull it out, and then that tow strap rubs against the bumper the whole time. And it just kind of made me a little cautious. So, with the rear locker, with crawl control, with the multi-terrain select, I mean, it's a very, very capable truck. But last year, I buried a Ford Bronco Sport, and I buried, I had a Raptor, actually. I had to go get some tow hooks and get him out of place. I kind of backed up the wrong spot. And then, 2 years before that, I buried a Tundra outside in the snow. I buried the 2020 Tundra, or what? No, what I had. No, a few years before that. Excuse me. Years are running to myself. But the Tundra I used to own, I buried in the snow and had to dig it out with a shovel because nobody was around for tow hooks. But I could have pulled out with tow hooks. So I don't always need tow hooks. I don't always use them. But it does give me a little more peace of mind off-road that I have a easy-to-use recovery point. And I think that's my biggest issue with it. It's just, I just feel more cautious going off-road with this Tundra because I don't have the easy-to-use recovery hooks. Does that answer your question? Or maybe I went down this, I answered your question and then some. Let's see. Uconnect is best in the business as far as infotainment system, hands down. Thomas says, I will tell you that the new sync system from Ford is good. Not as good as Uconnect, but good. And so we're getting there. How is the NVH compared to Ram and Ford? Thanks, James Brown wants to know. So NVH is noise, vibration, harshness, I think I had it. So that's the basically what happens inside the cabin, what you feel, that kind of stuff. So I'm going to say this. I think the new Tundra, from a driving perspective, from noise and vibration and harshness, I think the new Tundra is really well done. I think from an engineering standpoint, they've done a really good job. I would have a really hard time nitpicking the Tundra versus the Ford. I really would. Or Tundra versus Ram, Tundra versus Ram. Both have 5-link coil suspension. They both ride really smooth. The Tundra's really quiet. The Ram's really quiet. Ford, nothing gets Ford. I think they have a good product as well. I just would place Ram and Toyota 1-2, like 1A, 1B. I mean, really, really close. Like when I drive my Tundra, I think I'm driving a Ram, is what I think. I mean, because of the ride comfort, and like I said, I think the power delivery from the, I'm going to call it Toyota. I don't want to say EcoBoost, but Toyota's, what is it? They call it the iForce engine, iForce Max, whatever the word they're using for this thing. I think that is better than the Ford's EcoBoost, and so I think that they've done a great job there. And I've said this many times in different videos, and maybe it's because I like Mike Spears. I consider him a friend. We have a good time, and I argue with him, and he'll argue with me. And I mean, we don't think we're not like shooting out in the bar and having like knockdown conversations, because we do. We get into it. But I think from an engineering standpoint, they did a really good job on this. The rest of it is where I have a concern with. Jeffrey Carter, how tall are you, and do you find the seat comfortable? That's been a big question because of Andre's comments, TFL, about, I think Andre's 6'3", and he found the seat bottoms were, what did he say? It was too long for his legs or something like that, is what he said. I am 5'6", 5'7", hell, I'm 5'9" on a good day with a pair of boots. And I'm over 200 pounds, so that's, no argument there. And so I did not have a problem with the seats. And I usually make a big deal about seats depending what brand they are. I will tell you that GM trucks, I have a really hard time with their seats. And customers that I talk to with GM vehicles, they share the same problems. I drove 1,100 miles in what turned out to be 3 days because of storms, and I thought the seats were pretty comfortable. I didn't have a problem. I didn't find any problems with them. Again, that long of a drive, you're gonna have your butt's gonna hurt at some point during that drive. If I were to rate the seats, I'd say Nissan Titan is absolutely hands down the best seats in the industry. But yeah, I just didn't have a problem with seats. Holy cow! All right, I'm gonna keep going, and I get a little nervous in live stream, so I drink a little bit. So that's what happens. Let's see, Corey's got a great statement. He says, I think the old generation is people that needed a truck, and the new generation is people that want a truck. That's a really interesting insight. Ben, I can't get over the look of the new Tundra. I've been waiting so long just to be disappointed to look. Yeah, it's tough. Eggy, thanks for all the hard work. Hey, thanks for the comments, guys. It's, I'll be honest, it's been a hell of a week. It's been a hell of a week answering comments, and I've got a lot of hate at different times this week, and it's just been tough. I'm glad you guys are commenting. It's YouTube. It's people can say what they want to say, and apparently my thing is I say frustrated instead of frustrated, and I'm sorry. I have a little speech impediment. I've had it for my entire life, and apparently I don't say frustrated. But when I get pissed, I just tend to go off, and I miss my consonants apparently. Let's see. A little early, but so far, do you prefer the F-150, your F-150 to the Tundra? So far, yeah. I prefer, so far, to be honest with you, I'd pick the F-150 over the Tundra so far. However, remember with the F-150, you remember, just watch, if you watch the entire series of videos I put out in F-150, you will see at the end of that series, I had some rattles in the A-pillars that were driving me up a wall. I had the weather stripping along the driver's side door that would whistle in the wind, that would drove me up a wall. And so, I had some really big issues with that truck, especially, and then the rust on the undercarriage, which I got some hate for and got some love for, whatever. I don't care. It's 5,000 miles. Damn thing should not have rust. And so, I had some issues with that Ford. It was not without issues. But driving it home, if you had asked me last December when I drove the Ford home versus this December when I drove the Tundra home, I would have told you I'd like the Ford better because the Ford was just easier to use. It just was simpler to use. And I will tell you that I miss having the lighting stuff in the Ford. I make a big deal about this, and people think I'm just stupid or something, but zone lighting is the best damn thing ever, and I gave Mike a bunch of crap about zone lighting, and I did. Because if you remember the story, and people love my story, hated my story, whatever, about the fix, and I decided in that video to tell like a story, because I thought it'd be more interesting than just, the door locks quit working, and they came and fixed it, and 5 guys showed up, and it was a trim issue, bam, issue done. Well, yeah, that could have been a 20-second video, sure. But, where's the enjoyment factor in that? That's just boring. So, what I said in that video, and it still holds true today, is when Toyota found out I had a quality issue with that truck, they sent people in immediately. 5 guys from Michigan to Little Scottsbluff, Nebraska, which is, right that way, and that's why I'm pointing at the screen that way. That's a huge deal. The whole time I had the Ford, the whole time I had the rust issues, had the A-pillar issues, I had the weather stripping issues, I'm doing videos and all this kind of stuff, I didn't hear a peep from Ford. Not a peep. In fact, Jill and I will go to Ford events now, and they don't even bring it up. So, that's where it's at right now. Does it look like it's possible to install a roof rack on a Tundra? Obviously, if you don't get the panoramic moonroof, you should be able to install a roof rack. It's just a big roof on the top, so I don't see any issue with that. Ram Rider, Tim, everyone appreciates your great and honest reviews. You can tell and show how like it is. Thanks, Ram. Tundra is I'm gonna go with Smith. He's got a bit longer of a name, but for PG's sake, Smith says, "Does the sun visor slide on their support post?" No, I don't. I have not experienced that sliding. I know what you're talking about, where you pull it down and you can slide it back and forth, and sometimes a little piece of plastic comes out, a little plastic square comes out, rectangle, and I'm gonna say no. Whereas if you have medium side windows, they are still usable if you have the seat all the way back. I'm gonna have to get back to you on that one. It's pitch black, dark 30 out here at 7 o'clock at night, but I don't believe they do. I don't believe they slide at all. I think they're just very thing. Juan, we're up for late chat. Jill's not here. I figured a lot of you guys have questions. I want to go later tonight than I normally do. I'm feeling a little bit better too, so I thought let's go later. Carlin wants to know if you have limited, but do you have any information on whether the manual driver's seat in the SR5 is any form of height adjustment? I don't. Sorry, I've been in the SR5 maybe one time. Alyssa Pipe. Alyssa, I believe you're the one who talked about. Didn't you help with the voice interface in the 22 Tundra? She says any video reviews coming in a voice interface. I did talk about it in a video. I did an infotainment system at one point. You guys did a great job on that. No issues. Hey Toyota works, and even with my accent and my speech impediment, it picks me up every single time. So voice interface is fantastic. No issues there. No, All right, so Alyssa wants to know, how often does this guest mode thing happen with your head unit? So if you don't know, when I get in the truck, if I don't have the key fob with me, or if I do have the key fob or whatever, it should automatically log me in. So Toyota sent a dealership employee over, which great kid, fantastic kid, and he had a long list of information to go through, and we put it together. And we logged in and we did the key fob thing. And the first time we did it worked great. Since then, I am 0 for the century. Today I drove it. So I'm going to count the times I started up. So I started up once, twice. So I, went to Walmart, went to the chiropractor, came back from Walmart, went to the chiropractor, drove around the house because I did a video on the cameras and came back. So what am I? Six times, I guess? 7 times. I am 0 for 6 today. 0 for 6. Never has it logged me in since. And Toyota is meeting with me. Hopefully this week, I'm meeting with the chief engineer of the multimedia unit to go over my concerns with it. And boy, do I have some conversation with him. I like the fact he's reaching out to me because that shows he cares. But boy, I'm 0 for 7. I'm 0 for 7 today. And I'm sorry. It's a BS little thing. I get it. It's simple. It's stupid. You click the button, it goes away. I get it. It's a big screen. You hit dismiss, it goes away. No big deal. But it just drives me up a wall that every single time I get in the truck, I gotta hit dismiss. Just drives me nuts. Manuel wants to know about EV truck trend. I'm gonna skip that for tonight, Manuel, because I want to keep on the Tundra kind of. Train wagon. What was your final tally on the fuel mileage and your trip back home from Houston? I should make you watch the video, Dave, but I will give you the answer. 16.5, I think it was. And it was spot on, by the way, too. When I did the hand calculation versus the trip odometer, it was spot on. Yeah, over-the-air updates can be done in the system, and they need to be done. But I don't know if it's me that's got the issues or if other people have the issues. I did hear today from a viewer who commented, who said that he bought a truck in an area where they had a 72-hour return window. And he bought the truck, drove home, had the problem, saw my video. He had the same problems I was having, went back to the dealership and returned his truck. Returned it. He says, I'm not going to buy this truck with this many issues. Well, I thought that was, wow. Yeah, Eric Mings wants to know. I all want to know about, does the Tundra still have soy wiring that the rats love? I had not heard that, and I know every brand's having problems with wiring, and soy was trying to be a solution. So I don't know. I don't know as far as what kind of soy wiring. That's a good question. I should ask when I get a chance. I'm kind of look, to be honest with you guys, I have peppered my PR person and I've peppered engineering so much over this week. I think I need to give them a break. You need to give them a break. Hey, Doug's here. And Doug, I saw you in the live stream with the TFL, by the way, too. So good stuff seeing you over there, too. So there's conversation about Toyota Care. No, so Bryant wants to know if I still have the pin struggles. I don't have the pin struggles anymore. Now that we have the key fob attached to my profile, the pin issues of logging in are gone. However, my profile still doesn't automatically load. So, baby steps, baby steps. Steve wants to know, does the new Tundra have a transmission cooler? It does. The new Tundra does have a transmission cooler. The reason for that is because the 3.5 liter has higher horsepower and torque than the V8, and to meet that higher towing, they had to add the transmission cooler back in. Thomas says there are thousands of scenarios where the rear will not be accessible for recovery. It's stupid. My issue with the rear is, and I had a guy stop by my house, which I have a few people who want to stop by my house, and that's fine. Just let's not make it a huge deal about it, but that was okay. I like talking to people. Is that when you drop the tailgate on the Tundra, the tailgate is down, and think about this with me, guys. So you got a load of rock in your bed, and you know where the rock goes, Bermuda's Triangle, right behind the cab, right? All the last pieces of rock go up there. And so your tailgate is down. Your tailgate is full of rock at this point because the rock goes in that little gully, right? There is no way to get into the bed from the side. It doesn't exist. There's no stakeholder pocket. There's no way to grab a holder. The way they wrap the bumper around the side, you can't get in the bed. So you have to do the old style. You got to put your butt up on the tailgate, or whatever weird looking way you got to get in the bed. Then you got to walk back. You can buy the obscenely overpriced $400 step that goes below the bumper, that goes by the muffler, which is just ridiculous. I hate those things. And so I just don't understand why they did that. And I just boggles my mind. But yeah, in my view, with the world of trucks going to Dutch doors from Ram, from the multi tailgate from GM, from the Ford, where it's got the ladder built in a tailgate, you now have a truck that went backwards on easy access to bed. The Tundra has now claimed the crown on the worst way to accessibly get to the bed. And I don't understand that. I just don't understand it. We have all this tailgate wars, all these people doing this fancy stuff with their tailgates, and now the Tundra has made it harder to get into. And my friend stopped by. He's 6'7". Yeah, he didn't have a problem. He reached into the bed and grabbed it. I'm 5, like I said, 5'6", 5'7", 5'9" with boots on. I can't reach into the bed, and I can't get into the bed. And so now I'm like, I'm gonna have to keep a broom in the back of the bed to reach up stuff to the front, or I'm gonna have to figure a step ladder out or something, because I'm like, it just irritates me. It's like, my Ford wasn't so great because I didn't have the tailgate with a step in it, ladder system step, but it just was, I just don't like it. I don't. And the guy stopped by today was shorter than I was, and he said to me, he goes, I wish there was a step in the front of the bed, like the Silverado and Sierra doing the heavy duties, where that step was right there. And I'm like, yeah, why not put a step there? I know we went away from step side beds because we wanted more cargo volume. We wanted the bed to stretch out longer to fit drywall. But we didn't do a good job of keeping the accessibility of getting in the front of the bed. Now the beds have gotten longer and taller. And I don't care. I want to be able to access my bed. This is why the Maverick's selling like crazy, guys. Because you can reach in the bed. And people think I'm ridiculous, but go look at a Maverick. I can reach in the bed, no problem. It makes it really handy. Yeah, conversation about tow hooks. The Honda Civic has a tow hook. Sure nice to have needed. What brand of turbos in a Tundra? Alice Pooper wants Popper. We're going to go Popper. I said Pooper. We're going to go Popper. What brand of turbos in a Tundra? I believe they are Borg. Was it Borg? I'm going to say it wrong. Borg. What's the name of that damn company? I believe they're Borg. Most people are using Borg branded turbos, but I should double check for you when I get a chance to keep deep diving, because again, there is a lot of information going on. Greg Newth wants to know, the new Tacoma is going to use the same frame as the Tundra. How will that remain at midsize? GM uses full-size frame, but only on larger SUVs like Tahoe, Suburban. Will that work? It's not. It's a similar frame. I think it's a similar frame. I think they're going to push the body, bring the body back in, not be out so wide as the Tundra is. But really, the conversation he's having there is about the platform, and the platform is more than just a frame. It's door handles, it's mirrors, that kind of stuff. All right, so Eric wants to know, if you had to choose based on initial driving, what would you choose? The Tundra Ford Power Boost you had last year. Yeah, I think I answered that with initial driving. Great value brand. My other question, can you show us that picture of the deer in the thumbnail? Oh, that was 2 years ago. We got another couple deer this year. So I think it's on Instagram if you want to follow my Instagram. Thomas says, I was shocked to see that the old 5.7-liter Hemi achieved better mile per gallon than the new Tundra towing up the Ike. You know, I've done towing tests as well, and that's been my answer too, is that I have seen 5.7 liters versus that Power Boost hybrid I had, that basically the 5.7 did pretty comparable, and the diesel did better. So I'm calling BS on the idea that mile per gallon is better when you go smaller displacement when towing. And I know I want to tow really badly. If I could tow tomorrow with this Tundra, I would. I have a hard time. My back's against the wall, guys. Days are counting down to Christmas, and I won't be here after Christmas. And so I'm going to do the best I can. Is there any way to get a limited or other hybrid available trim with no chrome at all in the truck? I don't believe there is, Josh. Josh, I have looked for that answer, and body color always seems better. I agree. I had my vinyl friend stop by, the guy who does vinyl for different things, and he made the comment that he probably can't body color match the chrome on the front of the truck because of the way the paint is on the truck. I probably won't ever match it correctly. Something about the polishing of the whatever. Anyways, I think we decided to go ahead and just do the chrome as matte black, and that'll match the wheel wells. I think it's gonna look pretty good. But yeah, I really wish that I really wish there was an answer to that. So Anthony wants to know, besides your door lock messing up on the Tundra, how do you think the quality is overall? I think it's solid. You know, I mean, it's a solid truck. Could you think of any problems that will arise? Again, I think my qualms are basically fourfold, right? So tow hooks, rear bumper, infotainment system, and remote start. Those are my 4 big issues. You could throw styling in there as a 5th, but styling is always like, some people love the look, some people don't love the look, whatever. But those have been my issues. And I will say that I think from overall initial quality, I think those are great. If I didn't have problems with the infotainment system, if I didn't have problems with the issues as far as the, sorry, my neighbor just texted me. If I have issues with the remote start, which is that makes my skin crawl, by the way. I would say that those are the problems I would say arise. Quality issues, I think, are fantastic. Alex says, don't like how they use the soft text for the seat. I would argue with you on that one. I kind of like the soft text in this instance. I kind of like the soft text. Again, my Ford had a different version of cloth, and I actually like that better than the leather. The leather in the Fords is really hard until you break it down, until you actually get to the point where the leather breaks in a little bit. I actually like that. How does the back seat space look for passengers if said driver is 6'5", hypothetically speaking? I had, like I said, I had some owners in the truck recently, and I've owned this truck in different variations of it. The back seat space is less. It's shrunk. We did a story on pickuptrucktalk.com showing the specs, and I think we concluded the spec, it was like an inch or 2 difference. It feels like 7 inches different. It is remarkably smaller in the rear, which is unfortunate because the rear of the Tundra was always a big rear. And so if you were 6'5", you have to go crew max. You have got to go crew max. I don't think you can fit anybody in the back of the double cab, and that's based on the video I did with the double cab. I think people behind you would be okay if you're 6'5". There's enough legroom there, but it's not as big as the 2021 version. How is the off-road capability and ride with the new coil rear suspension? I wish I had the answer for you. I have been trying to get off-road for a long time, and I can't. Well, I mean, I've had it 7 days. All right, so let me be fair. I've had it 7 days. I only have like 3 or 4 more days to go until I'm on vacation. So I will tell you that Jill and I are going to CES show in Vegas. Our plan, as it is right now, is we're going to drive through the mountains, do the Ike, but go through the mountains, go to Vegas, and then on our way back, we're going to stop by Moab. And I had a friend send me a video, but I wasn't able to get it to work in this live stream situation. He took his new Tundra over Moab, and I can't wait to do it over there. I think it'll be fine. One thing I find interesting, and I had an answer for this earlier, was that you can't get the TRD with the air suspension. And basically the answer I got back from Toyota was it's different customer needs, which I kind of thought was kind of some BS because you can get it in the Ram Rebel. So I kind of thought it was kind of crazy. Holy cow. Sorry, I got to catch up. I'm going to start skipping a few of these comments. Oh, so Neil and Lori Hewitt are here. They're from Canada, and they sent an email, and I do apologize, Neil. I did not get a chance to get back to you. They have some questions. I haven't seen them one yet in Ontario. Looking forward to answers in the hoist video tomorrow. Yeah, I will have answers too. I need to measure. I keep trying to measure the distance between the mirrors. Yeah, tailgate down. How annoying is jumping back? Very annoying. It's damn near impossible. I would just go grab a ladder if I had to. Can you cook? Jordan's here. Jordan, good friend. He's did the Rivian R1T on the channel. Can you cook a steak on that huge grill? I think you can actually. Oh, I just have some Crown tonight. I'm just tired. I get nervous. I just do. Why is the front and back end so ugly? I don't have an answer to that one. Seems like wait until 2023. So there's a lot of questions about waiting until the 2023 model year so Toyota can work out issues. I'm mixed on this because every year automakers change out hundreds of parts in vehicles. And so if you do wait, you may not get the better parts at initial, but then if you wait to work out the bugs, the vehicle can change. I mean, somebody said to me, they said, I'm going to wait 10 years to buy every truck because that way I know the bugs are worked out. Well, in 10 years, the truck's completely different. These things are continually changing. A mom and pop automaker or a parts supplier goes out of business and Toyota needs a part, and so they make a new part, and so then, and you guys have seen the things where they're like, hey, you know, the parts won't be quite at the specs because we're going to allow some non-good-looking parts in, whatever the deal is. And so I think trucks are consistently changing. So, yeah. Will there be some software updates? Sure. But remember that the Tundra is not the first time to get that software. Lexus NX is. This is the first time that really I put the big spotlight on it because it's the first time I've had a truck with it. So, yeah. Corwin, Toyota, and Fargo had roughly 10 to 12 units allocated, not a single one at TRD off-road. Anyone else saying TRD off-roads in the lots? Weird. Screw the hate. You're the best journalist on YouTube. I'm sick of watching what I've seen listing paid endorsements. Okay. I don't want to say anything. I've been seeing a few channels that have some paid endorsements for like hair growth or men's grooming kits for down below, and what that has to do with trucks, I am still mystified by. Yeah, there's rust in the. All right, so David Rubio, I just want to know miles per on it. You know, 5.7 are no good, but I heard and saw the new one is about the same. Please comment if you can. I had 16.5, but I drove some terrible conditions, absolutely horrendous conditions. My plan is to do a 100-mile loop, but the weather has just been horrendous here. You guys saw those tornadoes in Minnesota? That windstorm came through here. I was sitting here Wednesday and watching the trampoline in the backyard go back and forth. Luckily, I've secured the hell out of that son of a gun. It didn't go anywhere. And so that was good, but I have not been able to get out there. In my experience with Toyota trucks is that I have gotten pretty close to EPA on Toyota trucks. My experience with small displacement turbocharged engines is I have not got anywhere near EPA. So take that with a grain of salt. I think I could do more like 18 to 19, more similar to what like Andre did if I would drove in conditions that were more easy on the truck. but that's about the best I'm going to do. GMAC, I was all set to get a Land Rover, and then I drove a 1500 Limited. Boy, I'm having a hard time figuring that out. Get the truck. I did drive the Defender 110. So I want to talk about this for a minute too. I have, oh my goodness, 7, 8, 9 videos ready to go. So while I'm on vacation, you guys are watching Land Rover, Nissan Frontier. There's a Bronco Sport in there. There's a Hyundai Iconic in there. And so if you're sick of the Tundra coverage, because I've covered the crap out of this in the first week, don't worry. There's a lot of vehicles coming, a lot of stuff I'm just sitting back on. But I just knew that I had a small window of time to do as much Tundra content as I possibly could. And so I'm just bombarding the channel right now with Tundra content. And then I did the same thing with Ford last year. So it's okay. Just relax. Take a week off. If you have to, you can unsubscribe for the week. Turn off the bell. What it's going to do. And if you're not into Tundra stuff, there is more stuff coming. Tim, what do you think Tundra would do for me in the same situation? Ooh. So that's a tough one. So there's a lot of, yeah, and I said this in the video. You could say that yes, I get 1 million views a month. This month's like amazing. Not a month, but most months I get like 750,000 views. I have some connections. It's true. I have a lot of subs. I get it. And so yes, I'm guilty of the fact I probably had gotten some preferred treatment. Let's just say it that way. So if you've seen the videos, you know that I did get my truck resolved pretty easily, and they had a great response. I would also argue that because it is a first vehicles out that having a problem, that Toyota really needed to get out here to make sure it wasn't a systematic issue across the board, right? So you don't want to build 200,000 trucks that all have the same issue. You want to nip that in the bud right away. So I don't know. I mean, I would like to think that Toyota would be out there and doing the same thing they did for me, but I do have some connections, so I can't deny that. Just what it is. Lamb is here, just tuning in. Thanks for the videos, Tim. Appreciate your videos and such a quick turnaround time since you picked it up. Please keep them coming. Do you plan to get one of the hybrids? My plan with the hybrid is that I will drive it in the end of January, and then I'm going to get it as a press loan, which means I get it for 7 days in the spring, summer situation. And so my plan is to do some comparisons when I get it. And the reason why I had to go that route, and it really wasn't my choice. I preferred to get the hybrid, so I could talk about the hybrid versus the Ford hybrid I had. But timing was my biggest enemy. I have to have a truck by year end for taxes, and so I had to buy a new truck. And with the hybrid not out till then, till spring, and so that's my plan currently. And the way the supply is coming out of trucks, I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. So I really with the hybrid, I mean, you're looking at fuel economy and towing. It'd be the two things that are different. My 3.5 basically covers everything except for those two things. So if I can get it for 7 days and do a towing test and do a 100-mile loop or something like that, I think I could basically cover most of the truck in a fair way. Troy says, I recently took possession of a Lariat hybrid. No, interesting. There's a question about if the Tundra had a diesel engine option, would you have gone for it? Hell yeah, I would have gone for it. Maybe a V8 or V6. I would have gone for it. I make no secret of the fact that I freaking love Chevy's 3-liter diesel. Do they have problems with it? Yeah, they got problems with that diesel. I see lots of stories. I've done stories on the channel, but I freaking love that diesel. If I could take that powertrain and make maybe Toyota it a little bit, make it more reliable or whatever that's going on there situation, I would have bought that in a heartbeat. I think that's just fantastic. And I think from an emission standpoint, my diesel friends, I've interviewed them a few times, diesel's getting to be more near zero emissions. Then you have what's called renewable diesel, and that's up in Minnesota. And so you're burning like no emissions, and it's like, I don't think Mike Swears is wrong in wanting a diesel. And he's made a point that he says he wanted a diesel, and Toyota Japan told him no. I think Akio is making a lot of problems. Akio Toyota is the CEO of Toyota, and he said no to the diesel, and I think he's wrong. And I've never met Akio. Maybe I will someday. Maybe I can tell him he's wrong, but yeah. AT Ross, are there any issues with the current Toyotas? What is your opinion on the reliability of this new twin turbo V6? You know, I hear all the time that small displacement turbocharged engines are less reliable than naturally aspirated. I get comments on this every day. The V6 won't last. The 3.5 V6 won't last. It's not going to last. The turbos are going to blow up. It's terrible. And then I go on carcomplaints.com and I go on Consumer Reports and I go on JD Power. Hold on. I know JD Power's got a lot of hate on this channel. But we look around in forums, we look around in places, and I'll be damned, I find more problems with naturally aspirated V8s than I do turbocharged V6s. I do. You look at the 5-liter from Ford and versus the 3.5 EcoBoost, and I will tell you that the 5-liter from Ford has had more problems than the 3.5. It has. When I look at the data, that's what it tells me. So it's this mind out there that the new turbocharged engines are just going to be junk. And frankly, that's like 1970s thinking. That's 1970s, 1980s thinking. Yeah, turbos back then were terrible. But look around. Heavy-duty trucks have turbos. Semi-trucks have turbos. Yeah, are turbos expensive to replace? Hell yeah, they are. You're looking at $2,000 a piece, right? So you look at like the EcoBoost, it's like $4,000 to replace those turbos. Same thing with Toyota. It's gonna be $4,000 to replace the turbos. And yeah, they could have a problem, but that's a Borg Warner. That's it, Borg Warner. That's a Borg Warner issue, not a Toyota issue. I mean, that's a supplier issue. And so yeah, I just every time I look around, I think, man, I see more and more turbocharged engines that do well. It used to be they got them too hot. They ran too hot and they burned up. They did this and did that, and I just can't find it. I just can't find anything that says that they're bad. The data just doesn't say that. Doesn't back up that statement. And I'm sorry, as a journalist, I want data. I want facts. I don't want to spew things that somebody said 20 years ago. I want to know what it really is these days. And I cannot find data that backs up the fact that turbocharged V6s are terrible engines. I can't find it. I can't. Rick, is the passenger seat up and down adjustable? It depends on what trim you get. Wait a minute here. You know what, Rick? I've never sat in a passenger seat. I'll have to get back to you, but I think certain trims you can get power adjustable seats. Brandon, what's your fuel economy been for the first week? You know, I don't even know what the number looks on the screen. I'd have to double check the number, but I've been driving here and there, and then I had all these videos to do. Then I've been idling a lot. I've been idling this truck a lot, so I'd hate to give you a number that even wouldn't even close. 0 to 67 seconds are these videos true? Alice wants to know about 0 to 60 times. I suppose. I mean, I don't have much turbo lag when I go around the vehicle. I think it get there in 6 and 7 seconds. But, you know, this is what I tell people with 0 to 60 times. I know that drag racing gets a lot of views. I know it does. TFL does drag racing. I think they drag raced last time. They had a Ford versus the Tundra versus the Goat or something or other. Okay, maybe I'm making that up. But, I mean, they drag race everything. And I know that people love this idea of drag racing. What's more impressive to me is the 40 to 80 times. Because that's what I use the truck for. Passing a semi on a 2-lane road. Passing a grain truck. Passing a tractor. That's what I worry more about than I do 0 to 60. Because I don't generally do 0 to 60 in my truck on a daily basis. Because A, it's a truck. I didn't just buy a sports car. And B, I typically have stuff in my truck laying around. I don't want it flying around the cabin. Right? Sports car, you kind of have stuff tucked away. You're ready for that. You're ready for the excitement. In a truck, you have stuff in the bed, stuff in the cabin. I just don't typically do that. I just don't do 0 to 60 on a typical basis. So I just don't spend a lot of time on those videos. If you want to watch those videos, TFL does a great job. They love doing 0 to 60 times. They love drag racing. Have at it. Watch them, see what you think. I want to know where the oil filter is. I want to know, do I have to drop the damn skid plate to get to it? I want to know what the issues are of infotainment. I want to know if I haul, how much it sags. That's stuff that I want to know. Eggy wants to know about the Platinum trim. Any noticeable changes from seats to drive feel? I was in the Platinum trim for a little bit, I think, for a few minutes, but I haven't spent any more time in it, and I can't tell you about changes from seats. Typically, higher trim levels have different leather in the seats, and so I find them to be harder with initial purchase because leather takes a while to break in, and so I don't like higher trim trucks. So like for example, last year I had F-150 Power Boost with the cloth seats, and I had was it King Ranch? I'm sorry, I moved away from the mic for a minute. Is it King Ranch or Platinum? It's on this channel. I did a video of comparisons, and I thought the higher trim level Ford had worse seats than my truck had. And it really is about the seat comfort. And so, and with the Platinum trim, honestly, the biggest thing in the Platinum trim is I like the grill better. It sounds stupid. It sounds absolutely stupid to say that, but I think the grill looks better in the Platinum trim than it does the other trim. I don't know. That's kind of my thing. Troy took F-150 Lariat Hybrid. Oh. Which truck do you prefer, handling, infotainment, interior? So this is easy. I like the handling better in the Tundra. I like the infotainment obviously better in the Ford. And the interior... Wow, I'd be 50-50 on that. I think I kind of like the way the Ford's interior has the screen built in better than the Tundra does. I think the 14-inch screen, it doesn't look like it stands out very much, and you're driving around, doesn't feel like it stands out, but sometimes it does. Sometimes it feels like it stands out a little bit. I go back and forth on that. I think Ford's layout's better, but I will tell you what, I'm in love with the armrest on the Tundra. And if you guys don't know the story, so on the side of the door panel, there's a they reshaped like the old Chevy trucks had a little bit. I guess Chevy had them, but they have a flat by the window, so you have an armrest. But you're able to take an armrest. And the funny story was we were doing a plant tour, and I got in the shuttle to go to the plant tour, and the marketing guy sat next to me, and he said, "Man," he says, "I watched your video last night. I've been driving this truck around for like 4 weeks, and never dawned on me that's a damn armrest." And I'm like, dude, it's freaking phenomenal. And when I was driving along, I'm sorry, I do 10 and 2. I do 9 and 3, 10 and 2, 12 and nothing. I mean, you get bored while you're driving. And my hands, I have a double neck issue with my nerves, and so I'm working. That's what the chiropractor's doing. We're working on getting that done. But what happens is my fingers go numb, and so I move my hands around a lot as I'm driving, because I'm keeping them from being numb, and I'm also keeping myself from being bored, right? So, and I'm sorry to those who live in Kansas and Oklahoma, and I live in Nebraska. I get it. Driving to places in Nebraska, it's freaking boring as hell, and so I move my hands around a lot just to keep things going. And so having an armrest, another placement, and then the double armrest on the center console, and that stupid little drawer, on the Tundra, you can slide back and forth, you can get an armrest. That is a huge deal. Phenomenal. Freaking love it. Why more brands don't do that? I freaking love it. This is my. Oh, I'm putting my hands on my face right now because this kills me with the Tundra. Absolutely kills me. How can the interior have such cool innovations, which is not cool innovations, but common sense innovations of an armrest and a little drawer opens for the center console to get stuff in there, and have the double armrest there? How can that be so good? And the interior sucks so bad. Tow hooks. Can't get in the bed. I don't understand. It blows my mind that the truck can be so good on stupid little things inside the cabin, but outside the cabin is not so good. And then my friend Eric brought this up, and he just drove his back from Houston to Idaho, and he's like, he can't see the switches on the left-hand side of the panel. He can't the driver's side, on the left-hand side, there's some switches there for heated steering wheel and lights. I think the auto high beam light switch over there. And he can't physically see them from his driving position. And I would agree. Sometimes I have to do like this to make sure I turn on. And so if you're listening to the podcast, I'm turning my head right now. And so I'm looking over the side trying to figure out where the heated steering wheel button is. And yeah, it drives me nuts. It's better than the Nissan Titan, though. The Nissan Titan put the heated steering wheel next to the passenger side's leg, and that's just ridiculous. And so, I mean, I just mystified by this truck. Because again, there are phenomenal things they did. Phenomenal things. And then in the rear, you have the hump. Why, if every other brand on the market is doing the hump away, would you include the hump? It just makes your truck look old. And there's more love for Ram. So there's a lot of questions of F-150. Pete wants to know fit and finish. I think Tundra's better in fit and finish. It has a transcooler. Will they happen? Try pushing the truck back out of the market. I'm kind of go through these comments. Keep digging, Tim. Don't settle. Yeah, I just have to dig. It's just what I do. But I did want to make sure I was being fair to it. I hope you guys understand. And like I just said in that little rant there are things I love about this truck. There are things that drive me up a freaking wall. There's things that make my skin crawl. The thing I come back to, I'm like, Mike, I want to drive this more. And then I get in it, I press that damn screen, turn the guest mode off, and I want to stop driving it. So it's frustrating me. Greg, we had 70 mile winds last night in Wisco last night without power for 24 hours. A power boost version of the Tundra would be great. Absolutely. You know, I argue with Mike all the time about this because I'm like, he was wrong. And Mike he'll get mad at me and I'll get mad at him. He was wrong. Not having the power on board and having that stupid, absolutely worthless 12 volt, 400 watt plug in the back is ridiculous. And not having the power boost was just a big miss. And yeah, power goes out. Last year I plugged in a lamp and a power heat and what do we have? I'm looking at it right now. It's a space heater. I had a lamp and a space heater in my house, and I know insurance, all this stuff, but the power was out. I wanted to heat the family warm. I plugged them both in. We just sitting there reading the book, or playing with our phones, whatever. And the heat was on, and the lights was on. It was fantastic. And I know what Mike's thinking. I know he's thinking it's not a feature you need because job site people don't need it. Well, you know what, Toyota? You don't market to job site people. You market to real consumers. And consumers want this truck to go camping with. They want this truck to have the option to power their houses with. And I'm sorry. That was just a colossal miss. Colossal. And he knows it. And we talk about it. And it's no... There's no... I respect what he's doing. And he respects what I'm doing. And there's no love lost there as far as that kind of stuff. We go toe-to-toes with him. Yeah. Whew. Yeah, so there's a question about the breaking in period. 1,000 miles. The truck is broken in, by the way, FYI. If you don't know that. Soft text, fancy name for plastic seats. Yeah, I get it. I just like them. Would you buy yourself the Tundra with the power boost? It's this stage I buy the power boost. The Tundra is a great truck, though. And again, you've heard me rant different ways about it, but I enjoyed my power boost. And the fact that power on board was such a great thing, and the Tundra doesn't have it, just kills me. Just absolutely kills me. Yeah, you get 2 key fobs. Rex wants to know. All right, so Ben wants to know, hypothetically, if the new Tundra had the old interior and infotainment, would you like truck better? Truck a lot more? No. The Intune system was terrible, and the old interior was terrible. It was. I wouldn't. Isaiah's 2.7 F-150 or 3.5 Tundra, 3.5. 2.7's fine, but I want more displacement. I want a diesel Tundra personally. I wish Bane wants to know, I wish the upper trims had an upper glove box so SR5 gets an open pocket. Yeah, it is weird that there is no upper glove box. I mean, the Ford had it. Frankly, it was kind of useless. My wife's wallet would fit in there and maybe a few Kleenex and things, but it is more storage in a truck's never a bad thing. Thomas says, I will say this, Ford having that keypad on the doors is far superior to any phone app or key fob. I agree. Although I will tell you this, Thomas, I never, in the year I had the Ford, I never used the keypad on the doors. You know why? I was doing, I want to say I was lazy, but I'm not. I was doing so many damn videos in that truck. I never got a chance to reset the keypad number to what I usually use for like a pin for other stuff. And I forgot it. And then, I'm sorry, but the Ford was so easy, right? So you walk up the key in your pocket and you hold the door and it opens. Keyless entry. You walk in, you press the button, you hit and you drive. You didn't have to worry about guest pass, whatever's going on. I could remote start as walking up to it. I could press the button, remote start it. I could remote start with my app, which is free. Free remote start in the app. Hello. That was easy to use. So I never used it because there were so many ways to get in the Ford. I just never had a problem with it. I just never thought about it. Did they fix the rim rust issues on the 22 Tundra? Yes. Jeffrey Carter wants to know. The backstory is because of the new welding technique that they did with that truck. There's a new welding technique. It's a Japanese word. I'm gonna blow it. It starts with an H. Look it up. Anyways, because they did that, and because they now coat the undercarriage of trucks, like spoiler alert, tomorrow when I do the undercarriage review, I don't expect to see any problems with that truck at all, because they have completely taken care of the customer underneath the truck, and so that issue went away. And I think Akio made Mike Swears promise that there was no frame rust issues, and they did. They did. So yeah, take care of that. You need to bug over double. Yeah, I'm bugging them. When are you getting the 7.3 Godzilla? I've driven the 7.3 Godzilla, and it's okay. I think people make such a big deal about the fact it's got no turbos, no this, that, and the other. It's naturally aspirated, no other parts. And then it's so funny to me. I'll do a video on the Godzilla engine, and the first comment is, "That's the best I could get for fuel economy. I couldn't get better fuel economy out of that truck." And I'm like, what do you guys want? You guys want a 1980s engine design with a 2022 fuel economy number? Like, hello, we have to have turbos. We have to have cylinder displacement. We have to have this stuff going on, because that's what gets the fuel economy numbers. So, no, you can't get it. You can't have your cake and have it too. I'm sorry. Rear gears available for the twin turbo V6 is $331. That's it. It's your only choice. Before people throw mud at that, understand that Chevy's done the same thing. Chevy and GMC and their heavy duties have gone to a 373, not a 410 or 410. And the reason why is with the 10-speed transmission, they weren't getting better results. They said we weren't getting better results with a 10-speed with a 410. We weren't getting anything better, because the timing of the shifting for the 10-speed, you don't need the stiffer rear end. You actually go less rear end and have better passing speed because of the transmission. So, rear gears were used to be a huge issue, like a big conversation part. And now with the 10-speed transmission, you have a whole different conversation going. Is what it happens. I tell you what, I had a camper and something else. I was in, it's outside of Jackson Hole. It's on the Idaho side, Driggs. We're outside Driggs doing a test with that truck, and I had the camper on and that stuff on, and I didn't even notice that it wasn't at 410 back there. That sucker flew. Yeah, to step on the wheel. Yeah, I've done the wheel step thing, and you hop over the side, and you do. It's like, come on. Yeah, lots of conversations about the bed. No bed in the step, so I'm way behind. Recorder panel. It's just a power step. It's dumb. Duct tape, rubber strap, and a footstool. You're channeling my inner red green there, buddy. Does Tundra interior tick and creak during driving normally? And Mole says, I'm doing my best in these names. No. I did have, I will say this, I did have a rattle with the passenger side. I swear I took video of it. Then it went away, and Toyota engineers looked at it, and they figured out that basically they think that my seatbelt was twisted because it went away. And so it's been a really solid truck so far. Again, 1,000 miles on it. I don't have enough on it, but so far it's been a really solid interior. No rattles, which is, I got to be honest with you, I drive brand new vehicles all the time, and I get brand new vehicles with rattles in them, and it drives me up a freaking wall. It just eats at me when I'm driving it. There's a Land Rover Defender video coming out in next week, Newsflash, next week after, whatever the deal is, and it's got a rattle in it. Brand new Defender, and holy cow, did it it drove me nuts. Silverado has the smartest bed access steps in the bumper. I agree. It's a question about pricing. Why are prices so insane? I get quoted $72,000 pre-tax for $79,400 TRD. What is a good deal? I don't know. Prices are insane. $60,000, $67,000 outdoor for a mid-trim Tundra. That's pretty crazy, right? I mean, and I argued when I did my video on the pricing that Toyota is just basically coming up to the same price in the market. They're not really increasing the prices. They're just coming at the same price everybody else has had. Toyota had a TRD Pro, I think, last year for $55,000, whatever the deal was. And that thing was basically underpriced. Oh, hold on. Don't be hating me. Don't be like mashing me, whatever. But if you look at the industry overall, that thing was basically underpriced. It really was. And so that's why Maverick is excelling so well. That's why that new market is becoming crazy, because people are tired of these high prices. And I'm sorry, I did a video on that freaking GMC Hummer coming in at $114,000. I call it an astronomical turd because it was so expensive, and they're sold out. So, I mean, my payment, and I'll say this openly, my payment's $1,000 a month. $1,000 a month. Plus, I have insurance, a couple $100 insurance on top of that. I mean, this is not a $300 truck payment. This is not $500. If I were to have a $500 truck payment, I'd have to put over $30,000 down in cash to buy the truck. Or I could be like TFL and have the money to write a check and be done with it. But where's that? Like, I want to know what the payments are. That's my big thing. And I want to use the finance services of Toyota because I want to understand how they're going to work. How is Toyota going to jack me around in the finance booth? How is the, what they call that, the dealerships, the whatever they call it? I want to know how that works out. I want to know what I get. I want to know what you guys are actually paying, because that to me makes me more closer to you, the consumer, than me walking in and writing a check for $74,000 or something. Which, well, okay. The way this channel is going, I probably could pay that money, but I don't want to. I want to know what you guys are paying. Joel wants to know, hey Tim, is the Toyota website kind of messed up when you do a build and price as far as picking packages? What you can have with that? Absolutely. I've said in a few times in my videos, build and price tool on Toyota's website is freaking broken. Why is it that the limited package of the Tundra in my area has 5 different trim levels? 5 different packages. 5 different packages for TRD off-road. And they are tiered off-road, TRD off-road, TRD off-road. They're all the same damn name. I have no idea what differences are. And the last one on the limited is not even fully loaded. For $5,000 more, I don't get a fully loaded limited. I have to step up to the platinum apparently to get fully loaded. And you go to platinum and $794, and there's less options. Like, I'm sorry. Marketing on this Tundra, doing the build and price tool, has been a disaster. And I have nothing good to say about that. When I had my truck by the specs, I had a spec sheet around here earlier, I can't build my truck based on the specs in my area. I have to go to Gulf States Toyota dealership in Texas, and then I come close. And here's the weird part. This is the most bizarre thing ever. The limited limited Tundra has power folding mirrors, right? I didn't know this. I freaking was at the gas station, whatever, in Kansas. I pressed my button, the mirrors fold. Oh, well, that's bizarre. Look at all the mirrors fold. That's pretty impressive, right? I'm thinking, wow, that's pretty crazy. I had no idea. I'm a journalist. I went to the reveal. I went to the launch. I drove it. I bought one, and I had zero clue. Zero clue. And so I asked Toyota today, what trims come with the power folding mirrors? They said limited and above is standard. And I'm like, really? I don't run freaking materials anywhere, but okay. And I said, can you not get an SR5? And they said, well, we think you can. There's certain packages we think combinations you can get with the power folding mirrors. You just launched the truck. How do you not know what mirrors come with power folding with what trims? And my guy at Toyota is a great guy. I don't want to put him under the bridge, but I can't. Here's my frustration. My frustration is flat out, I can't give you the answers you guys are asking for. That's frustrating to me. You guys come to me and say, hey, Tim, I see you have folding mirrors in your truck. Can I get those SR5? And I cannot answer the question. That pisses me off. It just pisses me off. I want to make sure that I can give you guys the answers you want. Crazy. Elliot, why would Toyota put the side button to open exhaust on the same size? Why would Toyota put the side button to open the tailgate on the same side as the exhaust? It's driver's side, I agree, and the exhaust is on that side. However, I was watching TRD John. If you guys don't know TRD John, he's a sweet guy, great guy. Check out his channel. He needs some help. Give him some subs. TRD John did a better walk around the chassis than I did. The chassis was kind of The chassis demonstration was tough. But anyways, apparently the hybrid has the gas tank on the passenger side, whereas the 3.5 non-hybrid, which is was iForce Max, was I going with the term? Whatever. The non-hybrid has it on the driver's side. The passenger side has the gas tank on it for the hybrid version, from what I understand. And I can't wait in what January. I'm looking at my calendar. End of January, I'm going to be there. I'm going to check this out because I'm really curious. And so, what I wonder about is where the exhaust is on which side, and is it anything different? This is why it's so. Oh, I've been a journalist now for a decade. This kind of surprised me, and I will tell you this: the Borg-Warner. That's the name of it. Scott brings up Borg-Warner. This channel is 5 years in the making, and I've driven hundreds of trucks, and I have never seen a launch where I've been more confused, and I'm still confused. I own the truck, and I don't know what's on it. Why am I confused? I do this for a living, and I'm. Is there a button on both sides of the rear tailgate for the rear light for the tailgate? No, it's only on the driver's side. So on this case, if you guys don't know the story, this is a story. It's a great story, and some people give me some credit about my stories, but I'm telling you right now, I'm a storyteller. That's who I am. So the story goes that Chief Engineer Mike Swears wanted the tailgate drop button on the key fob. Ford has this. I don't know if Ram or Chevy have this. Chevy's got it because they have a piano key. I'm not sure about Ford in my memory. I can't remember. Nissan doesn't have it. But you walk over the Ford, and I know Mike saw this because he watched a lot of my... If you guys don't think Toyota's watching this content, you don't think they're watching this content. And Chevy is. And Ford is. Right now, there's 346 viewers. I can tell you right now that there's Chevy folks in here, engineers, there's GM engineers, there's Ford engineers, there's Ram engineers. Guys, people watch my stuff. And TFL watches my stuff too, by the way. Hi, TFL. So the story goes that Mike wanted the button down on the remote. And I will tell you this right now, that I had driven a Silverado, 2019 Silverado, that had the button in the piano key inside the cabin that would drop tailgate inside the truck. I thought that was just freaking stupid. Absolutely stupid. Why wouldn't I just walk outside and pull my tailgate down? I mean, come on, I'm a man. I can just walk outside and turn my tailgate down. And I had the truck for a week for a loan, and I went to Menards and got some stuff, and I went to the dump and whatever I did with that truck. And by the time I got done with a week of my truck with that, I thought that was freaking phenomenal. The best feature I've ever seen in my life. I use that feature all the time. So yeah, I was a dumbass. I really was. Because that feature was phenomenal. And so when Mike probably saw my videos, dropping tailgate, and how convenient that was, right? So you walk out of Menards or Home Depot or Lowe's, wherever you're at, and you walk out, and you're doing the cart thing, and you got 2x4s and stuff in your cart. And I'm sorry, I was building a shed last year, so I'm doing the stuff. And then you grab your pocket, you drop tailgate, boom, it's done, and you get there and you load stuff up. It's BS, guys. It's absolutely BS. But it does make a difference. It makes an absolute difference. So Mike saw this and said, hey, I want this button. So he went to his engineer and said, I want this button on my key fob. The engineer came back and said, hey, I got something for you. Let me show you. So he shows him the elbow thing, right? Hands full, elbow thing, dropped it. Great, fantastic. Mike says, I still want the button. Right? So, I mean, they worked on the button. I think I have my key fob on me, but I believe I don't have the button on mine. So it must be higher trims. So he got the button, but yeah, the elbow thing, I kind of give him that one. That's fine, but I like the button. Why reinvent the wheel? Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Chris wants to know, I see Toyota developing bumper end caps with a smart built-in steps in the future. I'll be honest with you. I grabbed my sign grinder and grinded off that damn bumper and put a step in myself. I thought about it. I really have thought about it. But here's the problem. Rust. As soon as you grind off part of that metal, and I know I've talked to engineers about this, you destroy the coating on that metal. And if you don't seal that coating and that metal just right again, you're doing rust. But yeah, I really thought about doing that. Slide. Turbos eat gas when under boost towing. Absolutely, they do. Yep. I remember when I had the hybrid. I did the hybrid drive with the trailer, and people were like, "Oh my God, you got like 7 miles per hour or gallon, whatever the deal was." And I was like, obviously, like, where do we lose common sense here? I have a small displacement V6 with a battery. It's not a V8. Of course, I'm gonna lose fuel economy. Yeah, does it get an astronomical like 500 foot-pounds of torque or whatever the deal is? Fantastic, great. I still have a V6. I do. That's what I do. I don't have that. You don't have that displacement. And so that's why you're seeing a market shift right now. And what I'm predicting, which is, I'm probably wrong. And if Jill was here, she'd argue with me. And I know Jill's watching this and she's probably screaming at the screen. If you went with the smaller displacement, you don't get fuel economy. You get less pollution. And that's why we're looking at half tons, in my opinion, are probably going to go away. You're going to have a marketplace that has EV trucks. They're going to be mid-size, half ton, going to be EV trucks. And then you have 3/4 ton and 1 ton. So if you want to tow something, you just go buy the heavy duty. Half ton towing, in what I'm seeing in the industry and what I'm seeing from EV makers, is going away. It really is. The way I see it is it's going to go away. And I just feel like that way because, and maybe I'm being bombarded by this damn EV truck news all the time. And I'll make you guys a promise. I'm going to go buy an EV truck. I won't be the first. TFL will beat me because they got to be first. Because in their video and live stream, they said they want, in their live stream on Tuesday, and I kind of took umbrage to this, but Roman literally said, when we found out that Tim was going to buy a limited Tundra, we had to buy ours first. So fine. So they went and bought their Tundra first and drove it home first, and I kicked their ass on the first drive I bought it video. If you look at my numbers, they have 4 million subscribers. I got 60,000, and my views on I bought it were just, I think I'm at 270,000. They're at 325,000. So yeah, I don't care about being last. I care about being right, and I care about providing the real information. And I can't wait to buy an EV truck because I want to know. I'm sick and tired of being cast out because I'm an anti-EV guy. Whatever. I'm going to just take care of business. Okay, it is 7:44. I got 15 minutes left, and I am just going to plow through these answers. I'm about way behind, so here we go. I'm going to do the best I can. I have got to go all the way up. Holy cow, it's so far back. Wind test. Do you like tires in Tundra? No, I like tires are fine. I don't like upgrading stock tires. I know that Roman TFL thinks that all stock tires are terrible. I don't keep trucks long enough to stock tires. Can a limited come with a regular horizontal rather than the full vertical window? Nope. Full vertical window, which, by the way, according to the owner's manual, which I found hilarious, the owner's manual says, do not drive with the rear window down. And I'm like, what the hell is the point in the rear window? I drive with it down all the time. You know, if you can off-road package come with the multi-train management, I want the PVM cameras, but the builder won't let me add off-road package accepted. I will tell you this, the off-road package I had came with the MTM. The PVM is really about towing, from what I understand. I have totally looked, I'm so confused in a PVM. I really am, and it's just crazy. No replacement, displacement, towing, I absolutely agree. I don't care if you have sponsors, you deserve to make money. I don't have sponsors. The 400 is the same hybrid or not? Yeah, 400 watts. You can hook up your coffee pot and plug in your cell phone. That is absolutely ridiculous. Any difference in the 10-speed transmission comparing the F-150 to the 10-speed? No, I think 10 speeds work just fine either way. Except for me, yeah, I have got to get another refill. Somebody said need refill. The iconic would definitely be a Jill video. It is a Jill video. Do apologize to me want the honest information. New Tundra, I agree. Do the black toggle switches on the center stack do anything? Wonder if you can use them for aftermarket stuff. You probably can use them for aftermarket stuff for sure. If you can wire it in there and you want to take apart your center console and get all stuff. I like the switches up top, like the Tremor has, that are built-in switches to switch stuff. Plus, if you do those switches above that you saw my video in F-150 Tremor, it is super satisfying to hit those buttons. Just I have nothing connected to them. I just love it. No need to explain to us who cares you are. I had a super chat too, and I apologize. Super chats are awesome, and I really do appreciate it. It does help the channel a lot. Platinum for good to lay people. It's us but guilt. Okay, I'm talking about something else. I hope I get a whiskey sponsor too. Half-tons coming more for work trucks to become more family. Yes. Work. I think half-tons are family trucks. The work trucks are going away, and to just a simple basic half-ton, and 3/4 ton and 1 ton are going to be the way it's going to go. Farmington, Minnesota is saying hi. Hey, Farmington, Minnesota. Tim is here with us. Diesel's here to stay. Montaco, Minnesota. Yeah. Oh, Minnesota. You want to play some hockey, eh? Hockey, eh, in Minnesota. What a good deal for 17 What would be a good deal? If you can find a truck these days and buy it, that's the best deal, Matador. Trucks right now are so hard to find. Good luck. I've been trying to do a comparison. People want to do a comparison. F-150 Power Boost versus my truck. Or F-150 versus my truck. The dealer in town has zero new 2021 F-150s. Zero. He has none. I can't find a truck right now to comparison with. That's how bad the marketplace is. There's no work going on. What's your opinion, Ben? The catch can to direct injection turbos. I've heard people ask about that, Jim, and I've done some research into that. I think it's fine. It will give you peace of mind, which is fantastic. So I'm going to talk about. Hold on, the super chat I'm going to go back to here. Jason wants to know where's Jill. Jill is flying back from Las Vegas. She did the Bronco Rodeo in the snow. What if anything has Toyota said about subscription for Fiasco? Nothing. I have a meeting with the chief engineer of the multimedia to discuss some issues I have with that. Tier to John is cool. How many miles did you drive versus Roman? Andre drove the most. Roman hasn't really driven his Tundra very much. We drove about the same. If you look at the numbers, I'm maybe at 50 miles, 100 miles more than he did, but it's just a different route. Why did Toyota insist on chrome? I have no freaking clue. Yes, I don't like it at all. I like drag racing truck videos. Do you wish you had a hybrid? Yes. I wish I did have a hybrid. Because I think the hybrid to me is more interesting to cover as a journalist. Not more interesting to cover because I am owning the truck. I just think it gives me more things to talk about. Interstate driving, I need passing power. Agreed. Any surface rust undercarriage of the Tundra? I will find out tomorrow. I'm gonna do. A dealer is gonna hook me up, put it on the lift, and we're gonna walk around it. And I'm gonna take my I want to say my white glove, and I'm gonna take my white glove. And yeah, definitely look at it. Does it have the spin-off oil filter? I want to know. I really do want to know too. I ordered Ford or Tundra. I use my pickup like a car tomorrow. F50 or Tundra. I feel like I've answered that a few times. I'm sorry, Joshua. I'm flipping through the stuff. There's beginning of this stuff. There is lots of conversation about that. Nissan Titan. I like the Titan. I think they did a good job with the updates with that, but it's just not. It's not world breaking. It's not anything amazing. Platinum Grill looks smaller because of the color contrast in the front end. That's why it looks better. I'll tell you what, John's Tundra Life, thanks for commenting. Him and I were going back for the comments, and he is a great resource. And yeah, I agree. I think the Platinum looks just much better. Is cigarette lighter report anywhere in a truck needed one for 12-volt strobe light for work? There is one, and the guy earlier asked me a question about this. They asked him, behind the 12-inch or 14-inch screen, there's a little cubby hole. They actually put a 12-volt right there. So you can actually plug it in right there below the mirror. It actually works. Does anyone know why Toyota won't build to order like Ford? Because that's how Toyota does business. Toyota always builds. That's how they make the profit. And that's why Ford got in trouble, because Ford's losing a lot of money. That's why every successful CEO has cut down the number of options in the Ford trucks, because it's hard to build different varieties and make money. What are your thoughts long-term? New Tundra going to make 300,000 miles? Nope. Oh, I should expand. I've done several million-mile truck stories, and I've done many of those things, and I just find that the more complex you make the engines, the less it's going to run. And if you look at the million-mile truck stories I've done, they're all heavy duties that have like diesel that are pre-def and pre-emissions. We add that stuff in, it doesn't last. I have yet to find a new truck that can get that many miles. Maybe 500,000, maybe in the gas truck. But diesels, I have a really hard time getting it longevity because of emissions. How comfortable is Tundra? I think it's really comfortable. I could probably sleep in it. Total software is crap for a long time. Yeah, I agree. Article the TRD will lose almost 5 degrees approaching. Wow. You read an article about the 22 Tundra Tier Pro lose almost 5 degrees of approach angle versus 2021 Toyota Tundra. Huh, interesting. No power outlet in the bed, unless you get the upgraded package with the power outlet in the bed, which is just stupid. I guess Toyota's hit the market and claim that, do you wish you had the hybrid? I do. Buy the bed step, Tim. I don't want to buy the bed step. I want to buy a freaking ladder and put some words on it. In every video I put out, I'm going to say, like, it's going to say, like, screw you. That's going to be the bed. Interior light's really dim. It is. My camera wasn't quite right, so it's not quite fair, but it was terrible. Please do a video on the oil change. Do you use a canister or oil? Yes, I am doing a video tomorrow, Laura. I will, again, I'm going to check it out tomorrow. Thoughts on the Turbo 3.5 turbo engine versus the Ford EcoBoost? I think they, Tundra, so here's the deal. Toyota is always last to the game in any sort of new vehicles. They're always last, but they always do the best. So I would believe the Tundra 3.5 turbo engine is going to be better than the Ford EcoBoost. It is offline power, and I think better in fuel economy overall. Maybe not fuel economy. Let me double check fuel economy, but offline power, and it sounds better, but you know, it's just I think the 3.5 has been out for a long enough time that they have picked up some of the bugs out of it, especially the drilling the hole in the intercooler. That was a weird issue. The Tundra frustrates you much because you like it so much. I love and hate this truck. I freaking love it and I hate it. It just drives me up the wall. Love hate Gene. What hump are you talking about? Oh, the hump is in the rear of the cargo of the rear seats of the Crew Max. The transmission tunnel is still there. Unlike other brands who've done a flat floor in the back, Toyota did not raise their cabin enough a little bit or whatever they had to do, and you still get the transmission hump in the rear seats. And people are making a big deal about that because of dogs, of loading in supplies and things. There's not a flat floor. There's just not. Tuggy. The 400-watt plug is utterly useless. Tim is right about that. I would tell you that Mike Spears reached out to me and he got my truck through the stuff and he's like, stop talking about the damn 400-watt plug. And I'm like, dude, I'm still going to talk about it because it is freaking useless. Saw where Ford is F-150 power boost to help victims of tornadoes in Kentucky. Yeah, we ran that story on pickuptrucktalk.com. I think editor Jill ran it and our news editor ran it. And yeah, Ford sent F-150 hybrids or power boosts to help out victims of tornadoes in Kentucky. How is that not in your wheelhouse of going, holy cow, that is the future? Like, I don't understand why other brands didn't go, holy crap, that is amazing, let's just do it. Why wouldn't you do that? Why would you not say, that is, I don't care if it works, doesn't work, that's amazing PR. That's amazing PR. People are going to say, I love Ford forever because they saved my house from the pipes bursting in the fire. Who cares? That's amazing PR. What are your true thoughts on the Nissan Titans? I think they're fine. I think that Nissan's done a great job updating the truck. I just think my biggest issue with Nissan is simple. Their dealers suck. Dealers are so used to selling the Sentra, the Maxima, the whatever the car is, the Rogue. They sell the Rogue SUV too, and they don't have enough dealers in the Heartland. For me, to get a Nissan Titan, I have to drive 90 miles to get a Nissan Titan. 90 miles. And around us, you don't see them. Because it's 90 miles. People, better or worse, people want to buy a new truck. They drive by the local dealerships in town, and they pick up a new truck, and they buy that truck. People don't... The world is changing. It is. And more people are online watching me, watching TFL, watching Doug, watching Demiro, all that kind of stuff. They're buying trucks differently. But Nissan's biggest problem with the Titan is the dealerships. The dealers are so involved in selling volume models at Central whatever, and they're coastal dealerships. So along California and Florida and along the East Coast, West Coast, because the way the company came in the marketplace, I think Nissan has done an admirable job and trying to get in the truck marketplace. They spent way too much money in the launch. They spent way too much on gimmicks, and they built a solid truck, and they screwed up a few things. And I pointed out to him, and now I'm not invited in other events again. Nissan and I don't really get along, but I just wish I wish their dealers would get the clue, is what I wish. And I wish that the marketing team from Nissan would stop being a damn car company, trying to be a truck company, and say, if we want to build the Nissan and sell it, we need to be a truck company. Because Nissan, and my friends at Nissan, and I like my PR friends, and I like the company, but they are so much a car company, which is partly what Toyota's problem is as well. People aren't buying cars. That was 1998. People bought a bunch of cars. Okay, that was 2010. People are buying trucks. There's no better utilitarian vehicle than a truck. You can do whatever you want with it. A sedan, you're limited. A compact sedan, you're very limited. A large full-size car, who cares about those anymore, right? So I just feel like that Nissan needs better dealership locations through the heartland. More trucks are bought between Minneapolis and Dallas than any place else in the world. Full-size trucks, right? And if you did a Google search on Nissan dealers between Minneapolis and Dallas, you would be amazed at how few you find. I've done the research. I'm telling you. That is their fundamental problem. I think the Titan is a solid truck. The powertrain warranty is amazing. The 5.6 liter is a good engine. I have weird how they did 9-speed, not 10-speed. It's a weird number, but okay, that's fine. But yeah, it's just, I wish they would have done that. Wish you had the hybrid. I will say this. Yeah, I do. I wish I would about that. Would you buy this truck again and all the frustration? It's too early. It's 7 days. Initial quality 7 days. I think it's, I will say this again and again and again. I think the truck is solid. I think the truck is very solid. I just can't stand the freaking infotainment system. And I am very frustrated about the fact to get my truck and I have to press the whatever variety of things. I got in the, like I said, I got in the GMC Canyon today. I hopped in. Guess what I did? I hopped in. I put the key in the ignition because it has a key ignition because GM, right? I don't know whatever. Turned the key, put it in drive, and I drove off. Oh my God! I got my truck and I drove off. And the radio played. I got to my place and I did my 3-mile walk and I came back home because, you know, I sit in this chair too much. It was, imagine that. I didn't log in, didn't adjust my seats, didn't change my driver profile, didn't figure out what my PIN number was, didn't figure out my key fob was attached to my guest profile. I got in and I drove. It's a beautiful thing, folks. It's a beautiful thing. I thought the seat quality is pretty good. Limited have the heads-up display. Limited does not have heads-up display. Yeah, Toyota should be the first manufacturer to let just Apple CarPlay control the home entertainment, except for the fact that when I was using Apple CarPlay, Jeff, and I was talking to people on the phone, navigation pulled up, and then when the phone call would end or during the phone call, my Apple CarPlay would stop navigation, would lose navigation. I was in some place in Kansas. Like, I literally, folks, drove 3 places. I don't know where the hell I was at. I was in some place in Kansas talking to my dad, and my navigation on my Apple CarPlay quit. Just quit. During the drive. And when I ended the phone call, I'd missed a turn. And luckily, I was in a small town, so I could see where the road was over there. And I just went for it. But, yeah. No problem. I think the interior is fine. I don't think it's plastic and expensive. I mean, every truck, I don't know. Trucks have a lot of plastic in them these days. Keypad and door, stupidest idea. I could see it working, John, if I was a kayaker or I was hunting. When I was hunting, I seriously considered using keypad and doors. So I could lock my keys in the vehicle and then come back. But Toyota does not allow you to lock the keys in the vehicle, so the big issue there. GM offers Silverado 02 with 3-liter Duramax. This Ram owner will be a bow tie owner. I tell you what, that 3-liter Duramax is fantastic. I will tell you this though, the seats suck. The seats in the GMC trucks just, and I've talked to many owners who tell me they actually get a piece of seat foam. They sit on seat foam. That's how sad that is. $60,000 sitting on seat foam. Remote started to do seat warmers and steering wheel warmer come on. Oh, wow, I'm running out of steam, guys. I'm trying to finish this up. When remote started to do seat warmers and steering wheel warmer come on automatically, I don't know. I don't. I need to test that. You're right, Chris. I have not done a good job. I need to test that. What would be a good deal? Please, real world towing. Yes, I will do real world. I will do towing. I'm gonna run out of steam. These things. Is the heated steering wheel adequate? Still inadequate. Absolutely. You know what? Here's a funny story for you guys. I have had the heated steering wheel on in the Tundra the whole time. It automatically turns on when I get in the truck because I had the button, because the button depresses, right? So you depress the button, it stays on. I've had it on the whole time. I cannot tell whether it's the sunlight hitting up the steering wheel or the steering wheel heating up itself. And then when I grab it at times, I can't tell the damn thing's on. It's such a huge disappointment because I want that. I wanted that. Will you go camping in the Tundra? Yep. Our family camp trip, we have 2 a year. Maybe 3 or 4. I'm trying to get some more dates figured out, but yeah, I will use that. Oh, the configurator. The configurator, I can't use PD. I can't speak to the configurator. The build and price tool sucks. Go to your dealer because I can't figure out the build and price tool. I can't. I just don't think. What do you think mile per gallon numbers will be hybrid? I'm predicting about 2 to 3 miles per gallon better. I'm predicting about $3,000 to $4,000 more, and I'm predicting like it is just not that big of a deal. It isn't, and that's coming from the Ford I had. Look at the Ford numbers. Look at the Ford numbers, guys. This isn't rocket science. Toyota's not different than Ford, not different than Chevy. Look at the Ford numbers. You're seeing a couple miles per gallon better in city. Highways sort of close, and $3,000 to $4,000 more. People are making such a big deal as hybrid. The sales manager or the salesman I dealt with in Dallas said that he had like 10 or 11 hybrids on order, and I'm like, you guys need to relax. It's not that amazing. I can't wait to drive it next month, but so far, based on what I've seen in the industry, I don't know. And it's like, and the hybrid I drove with the RAV4 Prime. They can do the RAV4 Prime hybrid in the Toyota Tundra, maybe. Matador, he keeps trying to tell me what would be a good deal on 17 Ford TRD next year. Can you speak on spray in the bed liner versus the new composite bed? Composite bed will last longer, won't rust, is lighter. And the problem is it's slick. The spray in the bed liner is tactile. It won't slick as much. I'm told that Gulf States Toyota is working on a solution to try to figure out how to do a spray in bed liner because you have lights, you have different tie-down hooks. It's a mess. It just is a mess. And I will tell you that composite bed is slick. It is absolutely slick. It's slick as snot. I think we used to call that. And so yeah, it is just. But it's okay. It's so you can do spray in bed liner, do a bed mat, whatever. Nocturnal Robin. So I just had a weird thing happen today with my Apple CarPlay. It usually auto connects, but today when it connects until I completely disconnect with that issues there. 5,000 to 7,000 pounds towing mop gallon wheel. I will have those. The camper I tow is like 6,500 pounds. It's perfect. It's a 28-foot camper. It's fantastic. Do you feel a difference in the V6 from the V8? I do. The V6 is faster. The V8 sounds better. The V6 is quicker on the passing speeds. The V8 is not as good. So sold out to what? The spin on TFL pays. Yeah, they do. TFL buys trucks for cash. It's crazy. How's the backup camera like the new truck? I did a video on the backup camera today. Check it out. Yeah, the lines turn left and right. Check out the video cam on that. I had that question come on the backup cameras. I did a video because it'd be simpler. Does Limited have heads-up display? It does not. In my case, does not have heads-up display. Yeah, TFS is pretty good. They gave me like 4% or 4%, something like that. Pretty good deal. And my credit isn't amazing because I don't have a lot of money to put towards the stuff. Personally, a bit of a flop. I don't want to say flop word yet, but boy, am I having some trouble with this truck. $30,000. Yeah. I'm gonna flip to the bottom. I'm gonna get to the bottom here because guys, I can't keep up. Ricardo, hearing stories on grading the upgrade. Rubber mat in the bed. Yeah. Shut her down, Tim. Yeah, I think it's time. Interior cab lights, not so bright. It is. The cab is really dark at night, and I can't show it off that well, but I don't think it's that dark. It's dark. I don't think it's that bright, I should say. It is just not that bright. Mentioning rust. I don't know why rust is not more of a concern. I grew up in Michigan. Rust is a huge issue. I remember being at the Detroit Auto Show, And this dude and his Dodge, and let me say this correctly. I'm an auto journalist. I call him a Ram. I've been trained, right? But this Dodge, this was like an '04 Dodge, and the thing was rusted out, and the exhaust was like outside the auto show, dropping somebody off, and it was hilarious to me because Dodge had built a terrible truck back then. Things were rusting out like crazy. I'm like, how is that not something we talk about? I don't get much rust around here in western Nebraska. Eastern Nebraska with the lakes, with the river, they do. Western Nebraska, we don't get as much rust. But I will tell you this, rust is still a concern of mine. Why would I want to buy a brand new truck and spend all my life savings on it? Some people do, the one new truck they have in their life, and have it rust out. That is crazy. The infotainment system is not fixed. It's still wonky. Space in the rear seats. I don't like the storage in the Tundra. I don't. I think it does fit some things, but then you put that battery in for the hybrid and you lose half the storage back there. It really does. It just does. I think the Softex is fine. I don't have a problem with Softex seats. Okay. Would you buy this truck again knowing what you know now? Suburb Sportsman asked. And you know what? I'm going to end on this conversation. Let me end this conversation and say that I would buy it again because I have hope that Toyota will fix the issues I'm having because I know what kind of company they are. I like the performance, I like the ride quality, and I like the interior of the new truck. I told you my big issues with it, right? So I would have some pause on buying it again based on those issues. But I have faith that Toyota is hearing me and they will address those issues. And, last thing, Troy, no issues back with the Ford Rust. Not happening. Backseat storage. I will definitely put them on a list of videos. I got 10 videos on this truck. I'm going to do the best I can. You guys have been awesome. You guys have been phenomenal, and I truly appreciate it. All your support. It's been fantastic, and I'm doing this for you. I am a journalist, but I'm also an owner, and these things do frustrate me, and that makes a difference because if I'm pissed, you're going to be pissed. And so I'm hoping I can use whatever. Somebody said to me the other day, I have a virtual microphone. I will use whatever virtual microphone I have to make your trucks better. That's my promise to you. If I can put a bright light on something and my team and I dig down on something and make it better for you, I am all in because that is the most important thing to me is that you get taken care of. Okay? So I have some videos coming tomorrow. Some videos coming next week. Then I'm on vacation. I'm telling you guys, got a ton of videos from Land Rover, from Nissan Frontier to Ioniq to Ford Bronco Sport. A ton of stuff going on. Everybody have a Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays, whatever you. I don't care what these days. What do you want to say? Have a great time with your family and friends. Enjoy a shot of Crown on me. I will appreciate it. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you